What is going on, guys? It is WrestleMania here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of the Red Brand, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a WWE show causing mass outrage from Israel. Was Kofi Kingston injured on last night's Raw? Cody Rhodes has a major botch on Raw. Reby Hardy is furious with her own husband. Another WWE exit confirmed, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. As always, we won't recap the show, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good, is number 1, Rhea kicks off Raw. The story revolving around Rio and the Kabuki Warriors kicked off Raw, and it once again cemented itself as one of the best stories in WWE. All performances in the segment were absolutely stellar, and was later made official that at Crown Jewel, the highly anticipated tag match will take place. Number 2, Dom is a star. A rare heel versus heel title match took place on Raw, with Dominic Mysterio defending against Rusev. The fans were in total support of Mysterio, and the fans were massive fans of Mysterio trying to pull an Eddie and trying to cheat to win. Mysterio is slowly but surely ascending up the ranks in WWE, and he'll be a top babyface in the company before fans know it. Number 3, LA Knight finally wins. Now at last, LA Knight picked up a win on television. Fans have been complaining that LA Knight rarely wins on television, and this is a justified complaint, as Knight seems to lose more than he wins in 2025. Thankfully, WWE put this right on Raw last night, as LA Knight defeated former WWE Champion Kofi Kingston in a solid match. Number 4, Seth and Cody face off. That's another week, another excellent promo segment between Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. The two have outstanding chemistry both as friends and foes, and it's appreciated that WWE are now exploring the deep lore between the two. There's a ton of hype for the match because WWE has put extensive effort into the story, and they aren't just relying on the champion versus champion tagline. Now, there is speculation that WWE are going to have Brock Lesnar interfere in the match at Crown Jewel, as Rhodes planted the seeds during the promo segment that Paul Heyman is plotting behind Rollins' back, and it was heavily implied that Rollins isn't fully on board with the Heyman and Lesnar alliance. And Roman is back. Roman Reigns is back on WWE television for the 599th time, as he made his presence felt during the Vision vs. the Usos. Reigns did deliver a vicious beatdown to the Vision, and he seemed extremely impressed with Jey Uso's recent change of attitude. The story has been tremendously done, with Jey and Jimmy doing some of their finest work in a number of years, with Jey showing more heel tendencies. Reigns is now set to work the Crown Jewel show, but it remains unclear who exactly he'll be facing at the event next weekend. But that was a good. What about the bad is number 1, the tag titles. The WWE are fully aware of the ongoing complaints relating to the tag titles on Raw, so much so that it's now being turned into an active storyline. During an interview during a commercial break for international viewers, the Judgment Day were asked when they were planning on defending their tag titles, and Finn Balor decided to spin a conspiracy narrative. Does WWE addressing the criticisms mean that they're planning on making a big change to the booking of the titles? We can only hope, as the belts have only been defended once since the title change. Yeah, once. Number 2, Los Americanos. It's official, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate are now known as Rayo and Bravo. The two are collectively known as Los Americanos and are basically the sidekicks of El Grande Americano. Whilst it's fantastic to see both wrestlers on TV at one time, these two names were considered two of the best pure wrestlers on the planet. They could certainly be doing so much more in WWE. And a lack of build. The WWE are in a difficult spot with the AJ Styles vs John Cena matchup, as Cena isn't available for any TV dates on the road to Crown Jewel. Sadly, this means that AJ has to do all the build on his own, and the best WWE could come up with last night was a 30-second promo from AJ Styles. WWE are really going to need to rely heavily on video packages to promote the match. It's kind of bizarre that AJ is doing side quests with Dragon Lee if the Cena match was always planned for the Crown Jewel show. Now, there's nothing downright ugly on this week's show. The show did a solid job building the majority of top feuds on the Raw brand, with the return of Roman Reigns, and the next few weeks of Raw should make for compelling viewing. What did you guys think of the Red Brand last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now, let's move on to the news. Our first story looks at a WWE show causing mass outrage. Now, our top story today takes a look at the significant backlash that WWE are facing for their upcoming NXT TNA Invasion show on October 7th. The controversy centers on both the name and the date, as October 7 marks the anniversary of the Hamas terror attack on Israel. And as noted by IsraelHayom.com, the invasion term carries an especially painful connotation in the country. The publication questioned who within WWE approved what is called a preposterous decision. The term invasion on such a sensitive date, which directly recalls the infiltration of Hamas terrorists into the southern communities and the mass killings of Israelis and Americans, raises questions about who in the organization is responsible for this preposterous decision. The WWE is yet to publicly comment on this negative press, and there's no signs that WWE could be renaming the show even after this outrage. Our guess is that WWE probably had no intention of causing such outrage with just a pay-per-view name. It's slightly similar to the case of the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, as in Germany, it's not known as Elimination Chamber, it's known as No Escape. The change is done to respect the victims of the Holocaust. Next up, WWE announced John Cena's final match. Now at long last, WWE has confirmed that John Cena's final match will take place on December 13th in Washington DC. In an official press release, WWE have now revealed WWE part of TKO Group Holdings in partnership with Events DC, the official convention and sports authority for the nation's capital, today announced that 17-time world champion John Cena's final match will headline Saturday night's main event on Saturday, December 13th at the monumental Sports and Entertainment's Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. The WWE has gone in with their promotion and have since posted 2 posters for the event, and one of them features John Cena with the WWE title. The event is now confirmed to be a Saturday night's main event special, which has led to significant disappointment from fans, as this is one of the biggest matches in WWE history and it deserved a grand stage without any interruptions from advertisements. WWE are at least using a tagline for the event one last time. There's now discourse on social media in relation to who exactly Cena is going to face in his last match ever. There's some popular suggestions which include Drew McIntyre and Gunther, but knowing how WWE have booked Cena all year long, his final opponent could come as a major surprise. Next up, Rebby Hardy is furious with her own husband. And Matt Hardy's wife Rebby Hardy isn't the happiest woman in the world today, as she's claimed that Matt publicly disrespected her on Kai Cenat's livestream. Taking to Instagram, Rebby took real issue with Matt referring to her by a government name, Rebecca Hardy. Rebecca Hardy? Who the F is that? Last night my husband went on the biggest stream in the world with Kai Cenat and was asked how people could find me, a full-time content creator who makes her living online, and his response was to give a name I've never used professionally or personally. But Rebby didn't stop there, as she went on a rant about secret haters. I've had plenty of secret haters in my life, but for some reason this one hurt the most because I've gone out of my way to promote this man and his brand, no matter how much of a clown I might look like doing it. Twitch used to be my everything. I started out as a streamer, and that's the whole reason I even have a TikTok account, to promote my Twitch. So when the biggest streamer on the planet asked me where his millions of followers could find me, my husband gave a name that only he, the federal government, and Wikipedia use. I felt slighted. Fans in the replies to Rebby weren't buying this grievance, and they were quick to point out that Matt did indeed promote her work, and Matt himself has now had to publicly remind everyone that what Rebby is saying is factually incorrect. This is an incredibly messy situation and something that didn't need to be brought out into the public. Why couldn't she just discuss this with her husband, together? Next up, Cody Rhodes has a major botch on Raw. Botches on live television are bound to happen, and that last night on Raw, a rather hilarious yet major botch took place. During the entrance of reigning WWE Champion Cody Rhodes, his pyro failed to go off, and Rhodes looked completely baffled as to what was occurring. This was obviously a pyro malfunction, and this isn't the first time in which Rhodes' pyro has malfunctioned in some capacity during his entrance. Rhodes did play it off brilliantly, as it would have been awkward if the reigning champion just ignored it, but Rhodes openly acknowledging the botch is much more in line with his persona and current presentation. Next up, another WWE exit confirmed. The NXT brand has lost another name, as Idris Enofi has confirmed that he's no longer a WWE star. Taken to his X account, the former WWE star had this to say in relation to his departure.
As of today, I will officially be leaving the WWE. This is a decision that I thought about for a very long time, and I'm going to trust my gut on this. With that being said, for the past 4 years, I had the chance and the opportunity to meet and work with incredible people, from the wrestlers to the referees, to the creative team, to the medical staff, and of course to all the coaches who put in so much time and effort into making me better. And for that, I will always appreciate y'all.
Enofi signed with WWE in 2021, and he's managed to have over 100 matches with the promotion. Currently not much is known about his WWE exit, but it's possibly a similar situation to that of Jasmine Nix, where her main problem was her salary within WWE not being enough. Nix was reportedly making $75,000 a year, and this seemed to be incredibly low due to the lifestyle that wrestlers have, where they have to pay for their own travel and expenses, not to mention sacrificing their body. Next up, the future of a WWE show revealed. Now, it's now been confirmed that WWE has been actively working on WWE Unreal Season 2, and we now know one of the moments the series will revolve around. According to Fightful Select, one of the key storylines for the show will focus on Seth Rollins' fake injury, which led to his SummerSlam Money in the Bank cash-in. WWE Unreal is coming back, was assumed has now been confirmed by Fightful Select. WWE Unreal is in the works for a second season. Upon Fightful interviewing the director of Season 1, Chris Weaver, he claimed that they weren't sure if there would be a second season. However, within a few days, the director was at the WWE SummerSlam filming Seth Rollins' cash-in. The report adds that Season 2 should drop via the Netflix platform in January. We're told that the Season 2 filming is underway, with Seth Rollins among the subjects. WWE, Netflix, and NFL films have already started production, and a season is expected in 2026. In an update, we've learned that it's tentatively slated for a January release. Now, the show itself has received mixed reviews, as whilst it was interesting to see behind the scenes at WWE, it was a show that completely shattered kayfabe. Not much is known in regard to how well the show performed on the Netflix platform. However, for Netflix to recommission the show for a second season, it must have been at least a moderate hit. Next up is Kofi Kingston injured. During last night's Raw, Kofi Kingston appeared to take a potentially serious blow when LA Knight's knee struck his head during their match. Kofi was visibly shaken, raising some concern that he might have sustained a head injury during the match. Thankfully, according to Brian Alvarez from the Wrestling Observer, Kingston was not listed on WWE's internal injury report following the show. It's a strong sign that he's escaped without anything severe. Alvarez would mention on the report, Kofi got rocked with a knee on Raw, but wasn't listed on the internal injury report after the show, so apparently he's okay. Now, Tiffany Stratton, who also suffered a recent head injury, had to follow WWE's concussion protocol. As such, WWE takes these head injuries very seriously, so we're glad to hear that Kofi is okay. And finally, the Crown Jewel card set. Now, final story today takes a look at the latest matches added to the Crown Jewel Perth show. After all, last night, the match card stands at 4 matches, and they are as follows: Cody Rhodes vs Seth Rollins for the men's Crown Jewel title, Tiffany Stratton vs Stephanie Vaquer for the women's Crown Jewel title, AJ Styles vs John Cena, and Rhea Ripley and Io Sky vs the Kabuki Warriors. There's definitely 1 or 2 matches that are expected to be added to the card, and we do know that Roman Reigns is working the show. Based on Reigns' storyline on television, he's likely to collide with the Vision in some capacity, and could even finally pull the trigger on the highly anticipated Reigns vs Bron Breakker singles match. Whilst this is a WrestleMania-worthy matchup, it was reported last week that WWE could be moving forward with a Breakker vs Brock Lesnar matchup for WrestleMania next year, so this opens the door for WWE to book the match at Crown Jewel Perth. But there you have it, folks, our look at Raw, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.